Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thanks so much for being here. Wednesday, September 17th. This show was supposed to come out yesterday, but impromptu date afternoon/evening with the wife. So, work sometimes comes second. But excited to be here right now. Jaguars, we talked about their areas of improvement yesterday, and right now we're talking about just how good they've actually been in a lot of areas so far, despite, being 1-1, despite falling apart a little bit against the Bengals, despite a lot of the mistakes that they've made. They've been fun to watch. They've been maddening in certain situations, certain performances, but this is a fun offense to watch, a fun defense to watch. It's entertaining, and it's good. So we're going to talk about it. I'm excited. Really appreciate y'all being here. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear. Help support the channel. Look good while doing it. So the Jaguars are moving the freaking football. EPA per play on offense is 10th. They are 4th in yards per game on offense. I mean, they are moving the ball with the best of them. And now that's been against I do think the Bengals defense has improved. I don't think they're a top defense by any stretch. I think the Panthers defense is pretty poor, but I would also say this. I mean, had the Jaguars not shot themselves in the foot so many times in each of those games, they would have dropped 40 in each of those games. I mean, I have no doubt about that in my mind. If they had not beaten themselves to an extent, they would have been able to drop 40 and they would have moved the ball a lot more than they did. But still, they are 4th in yards per game on offense. They are 1st in the NFL in rushing, 169 yards a game on the ground, 1st in the NFL. Travis Etienne has been electric. Bashal Tutin has been so efficient. You haven't seen him bust off one of those super long runs yet that he has in him, but he's been awesome. I mean, low center of gravity, low to the ground, explosive jump cuts, good vision, finishes runs with leg drive, and like I said, he's been great to watch. And then you also have Lee Quint Allen doing a good job helping the passing game with blitz pickup in a big way. And then also being productive on the ground so far when he's gotten his limited opportunities. They're 14th in passing yards per game. You're not going to be top 5 usually in both categories, in both passing and rushing. And I do think, it's only a 2-game sample size, right? So I think there will be games where it's more passing yards than rushing yards. And, you just saw that, right? Jaguars basically... had there not been so many drops and Brian Thomas Jr.'s issues on the field, Trevor Lawrence would have ended up having an unbelievable stat line. But that's neither here nor there right now. We're celebrating what's going well right now, and running the ball is going very well. I think overall the passing game has been strong. There's some little hiccups and things here and there, but overall that's been impressive to watch as well. They're scoring points too. 26.5 points per game is 7th in the NFL right now. Again, should have probably dropped 40 in both of their first 2 games. They're tied for 7th with the most passing touchdowns. So Lawrence is, and Liam Coen's offense, some of that has been like screens, short throws, but there's been some nice throws into the end zone as well. So the offense has really been impressive in a lot of ways. Only 1 sack allowed. That's tied for the best in the NFL through 2 weeks. And that's not a fluky thing so far, in my opinion. No, they haven't faced great pass rushes, but they have faced a great pass rusher in Trey Hendrickson, right? He's a monster, and he gave Walker Little everything he could handle and a little bit more. No pun intended there, but only 1 sack allowed. Like, there has not been a lot of pressure on Trevor Lawrence outside of Trey Hendrickson really having a good game. Outside of that, I mean, there hasn't been much pressure. And even with Hendrickson having a good game and making some really disruptive plays that helped them win that game, most of the day, Trevor Lawrence had time to throw against the Bengals. So to me, again, positive signs here. They have forced the most turnovers in the NFL, 6. This was like a historically bad turnover team in 2024. A lot of that had to do with not just the scheme, but also the coaching on the defensive side of the ball and the coaching in general. But yeah, I mean, what have you seen from Anthony Campanile's defense so far? Aggressive, right? Very aggressive. They do sim pressures. And again, a sim pressure is when you have 4 rushers, but you don't know where they're coming from because there's so many guys at the line of scrimmage. A lot of them back out. And even if it's a safety, rushing or a linebacker rushing, you still have a defensive end or a defensive tackle edge dropping out. So the sim pressures are good. The blitzes are good. Usually, I mean, the Bengals ate it up a little bit. So that's something they have to look at and try to figure out. But it can be just really difficult to blitz against a team that has Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. So that is what it is. But still, the zone defense has been mostly working very well on the back end. And I think that has led to a lot of the interceptions. 5 interceptions is the most in football. And again, I think that having those zone eyes, being able to change the picture post-snap in coverage has been very helpful, and with the rush has been very helpful for this team, for this defense. So I'm impressed with what Anthony Campanile is doing so far. They're 11th defensively in yards per game allowed. So, they haven't allowed a ton of yards. They did allow more yards through the air than you would like against the Bengals, but they've pretty much shut down the running game in both weeks, and done a good job overall defensively, in my opinion. So to me, like they're top 10 team through 2 weeks, just based on the way things are going right now. But again, they will face stiffer competition. When will they face stiffer competition than they have? Texans, tough game. Divisional opponent, team that has beaten you a lot, but they don't look quite as good as I expected, honestly, so far. Their defensive front, very impressive, but there's some chinks in the armor there, especially on the offensive side of the ball. The 49ers are dealing with myriad injuries right now, yet to be determined who all could potentially be available or not available for the 49ers game. Chiefs, that game, they have a lot of issues with their receiving core right now. Who knows if Xavier Worthy will be back. He did practice on Friday. So we'll see. Probably get some more information about him later today. But none of these teams are playing as well as you might have expected coming into the season. But the Jaguars, they do still have a lot of mistakes and issues to work through. But this is an impressive start. 1-1. Really, honestly, good on both sides of the ball, despite all the issues that they have had. And they have had a lot of issues. And the optimistic outlook is that you work to correct some of those issues and you get even better than what you have shown so far. And they need to be better to be the team they want to be a playoff team, all that stuff. They need to continue to improve. Most teams do right now. Most teams really do. But that'll do it. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. Just wanted to kind of take a look at some of the areas the Jaguars have really done well so far, and highlight, I think that the Liam Coen era is off to a good start. I do believe in the long-term outlook of this organization with Liam Coen as head coach, James Gladstone as GM, and Tony Baselli as EVP. I still think there's some things to figure out right now. Mostly getting the Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. connection going, right? That's got to be figured out. And if it's not figured out, then you got to shift your focus of your passing game a little bit, because you can't have a top receiver. And I'm not putting it all on Brian, right? I think it was pretty much all on Brian last week, but the week before it was a little bit more on Trevor. So they've got to figure it out, and if they can't figure it out, then they need to make a decision to not feature him as much as they're featuring, because you target somebody 12 times and you just can't connect with them, or you target somebody 7 times and you just can't connect with them. That's bad for the offense, right? So they got to get that figured out. But other than that's really the only major issue right now for me. I think that everything else is very much heading in the right direction. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.